This is Mary White, and I'm here and I'm going to go over transitions. We're in brackets, so if you don't see brackets right here, you should be able to see it pretty soon. Let me see, let me make it just big enough so that you guys can see everything that's going on here without losing any of. Okay, we have Emmet set up. We're going to create a file, and it's going to be an HTML file, and it's just going to be for transitions. So I'm just going to do File, New, and the file is going to be named Transitions or whatever you want. So File, Save As, and here you're going to title it and put it somewhere. So I'm just going to say 122 transitions .html. So you want to save that file. The very first thing we're going to do, if you haven't already, make sure you have Emmet. To get the extensions, it's File, Extension Manager, look for Emmet, E-M-M-E-T. If it's not already installed, go ahead and install it. You can tell it's installed because it says installed here on mine, and I can see it right here. So I'm going to close that. The very first thing I'm going to do, because we are working with HTML5 documents, is I'm just going to put an exclamation point in here. And as soon as I put in the exclamation point, I'm going to press my Tab key, and it's going to fill out the document. I want to put in my viewport meta, so I'm going to do meta :VP and then use my Tab key again, and it's going to fill out the whole meta viewport with the WIF device and all the stuff that we need there. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to put in a div as a parent element and unordered lists. I want to, actually I don't even think I want to, well actually I will do an unordered list because that'll be perfectly fine. So I'm going to do a div element with an unordered list. So this works with Emmet if you use the parent-child relationship. So unordered list and then a greater than symbol. So as you go down from the parent to the child to the next child. And then I'm going to put asterisk and 5 to allow me to have 5 list items. And I'm going to go ahead and press return. Oh, sorry, you don't want to press return, you want to press tab. So you want it to be here, press tab. It will create all of this for you. In one of these, we're going to put in a span tag, but before we do that, we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to put in a span tag, and it's going to be called box inside of this list item. So you can also do span and then your class. So if you want to do span dot box, because that's going to be my class, and then press tab, Emmet will expand everything for you. So I'm going to do Control Z so that you can see what I typed. This is span. This is the class that I want to be created. I want to be at the right side of the word box. Press tab, and it's going to give me room or someplace to put the box. So this is going to be my first item. And I am going to just put in the word box here because we're going to do some transitions with this box. So if you want to go ahead, you can create the span tag on each of the other list items. Span dot box, press tab, and we'll say I'm just going to put in item 2. I have all of my items. I have 5 items. The very first one is called box. I have them all created. So I have the HTML created. I have a div. I have unordered list. I have list items, and I have a span. So the very first thing we're going to do is, this is transition examples. So I always want to make sure that I put in what is going on here. So I put in transition, if I can spell, examples, and then after the title, I'm going to open and close my style tag. And then in here, I'm going to actually create some elements for the body. So the body is going to have just a width, and I want that to be 100%. So I want it to go across all of the viewports and just give me 100% when I have the body established. First item is going to be div, open and close squiggly bracket, and there is going to be a font size, and that's going to be, I'm going to make it fairly large again, 1.25 EM, and I'm going to give that a semicolon. The font weight is going to be bold. Font family, or just font, and it's going to be a sans serif font. Actually, I'll do font family in case I ever want to change that. So I'll just go to a sans serif, and then from there, I'm going to give it a height, and we can go to, I'm going to try 4 EM just because I want it to be more responsive if for some reason something changes there. So I'll just do 4 EMs there. And then padding and margin are going to both be 0. And we want it to be position relative. And we're going to text align center because we're just going to put it within the center of the viewport so that we're seeing everything. Okay, so then the next thing is going to be the unordered list. So we're going to go div unordered list. We're going to give that a padding of 0. And we're going to have a list style or list style type. So either this one or just list style. And we're going to put in none because we're going to get rid of those bullet points. Then after that, we're going to go to the div li. And we're going to display block. From there, we're going to go to the nav ulli, or the div, I'm sorry, div ulli. So we're creating more specificity on our rule, and we're going to display inline block. And then we're going to text align center so that everything inside here will be centered. And we're going to not give this a width. No, I will give this a width. Width of 8 EM. I'll just start with that again. Do the class of box and put in the opening and closing squiggly brackets. I want this to display, display, and we want it to display inline block. And we want the padding to be 20 pixels because we're going to give it the padding all the way around of 20 pixels. If you want to do 1 or 2 EMs, that would work also. The color is going to be black, or I like to use hexadecimal numbers, so 6 zeros or 3 zeros, either one will work. The background color is going to be white. So background or background color, either one will work. And I'm going to set this up, and this is going to be margin left of 0. But this is going to be the beginning of a transition. So this is the beginning of the transition. So I'm going to transition everything across this. So the transition is going to be all. So that is all properties. And then the amount of time is going to be 2 seconds. And then the ease in, ease out, or just ease properties should be displayed next. So I'm going to do ease in. And then I'm going to give it a delay of 0.25 seconds. Then the next thing I'm going to do is put in a hover for this class. And the color is going to be white. So I'm changing the text color to white. And I'm going to change the background to black. And we will give this the margin, and so this actually is going to make it move. Margin left 25%. And I am going to save this. We're going to click on that. Get our Chrome browser to open up. This is our transition example, and as you click on it or just hover over it, it's going to move the items. So we have a beginning and ending transition, and it's going to actually make something happen here. So we're definitely moving things from left to right. So we have a beginning and ending point with transitions. We have a delay of 0.25 seconds. So in case for some reason the internet doesn't quite pick it up, I do not have to put the delays in there. So that delay right here that I have, I do not need that in there. So I can take that out. Semicolon. And we'll go back and refresh these. We'll save this. We'll come back and look at this and look at this, and there should be no delay this time. Let me refresh this. So immediately it should be doing the transitions. So there are lots of transitions out there. Per canvas, I will have a list that you can go and things that you can actually place a transition on. But just some of the things that you can play with when you're starting to think about your navigations. Please design first, review different navigations, review the examples that I have in Canvas, design first, then see if you can create the transitions, because I think you're going to have fun with this.